Israel, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, under commanding General Yohana, presents the Lord's 55th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 55th Annual Passover is rapidly approaching. Commanding General Yohana is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to remember what the Lord did for us by saving us from our oppressors and choosing us to be a special people unto Him, the real Jews and Israelites. Passover will be held in Durham, North Carolina. Pay your Passover fee. Anyone 17 years of age or older must pay $200. Come and enjoy fresh lamb, unleavened bread, and the Spirit of Christ. Can't wait to see you all there, Israel. Shalom.
Cabins on streets and corners, all is feeling righteous. Real particular, nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us.
Give me the next question quickly, please.
Carl Collins from Officer Kalakaza. He said, Shalom, Lord Christ, Kalaka, sir. People use Exodus 21 and 26 to say that we believe in hitting women. Can I get the breakdown?
All right, go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 26. And if a man smite the eye of his servant, or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake.
I gotta catch up with you. Where you at?
Exodus chapter 21, verse 26.
Stand by. Exodus 21. Exodus 21 and what?
And verse 26, sir.
Exodus 21 and 26. I see. 1 second. I got you. All right, you just don't understand the context, warrior, or whoever asked the question, the Christian. You want to start with this, 20, go to 24.
Okay. This is the book of Exodus 21 and verse 24. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth.
Eye for eye, tooth for tooth. The eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth is a concept in the law, which is where justice comes from. The whole idea of justice, of equity, comes from an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Meaning, if you punch my eye or stab my eye, then you get. If you assault me in the eye, then you get assaulted in your eye. The problem is, or the difference is, the second assault is not assault. It's justice. Can I give you the perfect example? If I take a brother, and can I say what you do when you take somebody against their will and hide them somewhere? No, if you hide them, you take them and you hide them, and you ask somebody for money to get them back. If you ransom somebody, you take them and you ransom them. What is that called? You can't say what it's called, right? They can't say it. Everybody knows what that's called, correct? Trafficking. You can say trafficking. What's the difference between trafficking and the other word? All right. If you traffic someone, that is a crime. You take them, you put them somewhere, you lock them up in a room, and you say to his family, you cannot get your loved one out unless you give me money, right? Then the police catch you because you've trafficked. That's a crime. What do the police do with you? They put you in a room and they lock the door and they tell your family his bail is this much money. The police are that K-word people, trafficking people, and you got to pay to get out. But no one calls that trafficking because it's justice. Do you understand? It's justice. The first one was trafficking. The second one is fair. You took this woman or took this man and hid him away and locked him up. And oh, now I'm putting you away and locking you up. That's not trafficking. That's justice. The first one is the crime, even though it's the exact same action. The second one is not a crime. If you unalive someone, that's the M word in the Bible. But when you're found and you're unalive, that's not the M word. That's not M. That's justice. You get the point. That concept comes from eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You just need that concept to understand being fair, which is why our oppressor has to pay. Because if he doesn't pay, then we do not receive justice for what happened to us. That's why our oppressor has to pay as a nation. Why? Because he hurt us as a nation. People will always say, aren't there any good oppressors? Absolutely. There are good oppressors, man. You're going to meet some in your life. You might go into a courtroom and meet a good oppressor's daughter who's a judge. Meet a good lawyer. I've met excellent oppressors in my life. Good people. They still have to pay. Why? Because there were good people on the slave ships. Good, honorable people in ghettos. Good, decent, family-loving people on the slave ships. See, our crime, the crime was committed against the nation. Good people in our nation, bad people in our nation. All of us had the crime committed against us. So eye for an eye would mean all of them have to pay, even if they're good, even if they love their mamas, even if they have black friends, they would all have to pay. Everybody gets the concept. Now, as long as you understand that, read that. Go ahead.
This is book of Exodus 21, verse 24. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
For time's sake, skip right to the question.
Verse 26. And if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake.
Meaning this, the brother is thinking that maid means like his wife or something. Maid means she works for him. Remember it said servant or his maid. What's the male version of a maid? The servant. What's the female version of the servant? A maid. So imagine you got a servant who's a man and a servant who's a woman, right? And you go and you hit your servant in the eye. Just like, oh, this is what I meant to bring out today. I might have to do it in New York. I'll be in New York again, Lord allow, this Thursday. There's a law I would like to show you, a law during slavery. There was a law of unaliving a slave accidentally. And there was a law passed because so many oppressors' daughters were unaliving their maids. It happened so much that they had to pass a law making it legal to unalive a slave if the unaliving happened in the process of correcting them. This is a real law made because so many oppressors' daughters got so emotional when they were beating a slave and would accidentally unalive them. I'll bring it out this Thursday. Well, this is that scenario. You're beating a slave, you hit him in the eye, and you take out their eye, or you're beating your female slave, which is a maid. Everybody knows they still use that term today. And you black her eye, take her eye out. That slave gets to go free. They're not your slaves anymore. So whoever is telling you this means you can beat women, it's actually a precept telling you you cannot harm your slave. It's right here. If you hurt that slave's eye, that slave is free for the sake of the eye, which is what it just said. Read it one more time.
It says, and if he smite out his manservant's tooth or his maidservant's tooth, he shall let him go free.
I don't know why a Christian would pull this. I don't understand what you're reading when you read the Bible. Maybe you're just someone. A lot of you Christians had a can I say drunk? A father who has alcoholism. Them preachers, them deacons, whew, they like to have a drink. And when they drink, they assault their wife. That same deacon that comes to that church, he beating that tambourine, he beating it. When he leaves that church, He goes home and he physically assaults that woman to death. And the kids see it all the time. Those Christians give the worst beatings. Who they give it? I mean, them extension cords. The tribe of Judah is in this room. I ain't got to tell y'all about it, but I know. I'm one of you, and I know. The extension cord, the getting in the bathtub and getting wet, that's, y'all know about that? Oh, you're the tribe of Judah. What am I saying? You know all about it. Where did that come from? like, who thought of that? I know who thought of that. Our professor thought of that. Sister, go ahead. You was about to say that. You didn't give her a hand. I should have known who it came from. I wondered, damn, where you get this from? I should have known who you got it from. Getting in the bathtub, getting you wet, as if it don't hurt already. I mean, damn, the thing is terrible already. Somehow it ain't terrible enough. Well, this precept is telling you, if you take out that slave's eye, he's not your slave anymore. If you take out your maid's eye, she's not your maid anymore. Can I move on?